Good morning, everyone. We will be starting our international webinar at 11 a.m. month. That's it. On outside. 5 minutes. The importance of language skills. Overall, the kind of situation that we have start to develop so all the people are signing up. Yes, sir. Very good morning to everyone. Welcome to today's international webinar on problems and prospects of online language teaching. Honorable Chairman, Dr. Palla Rajesh Reddy, Honorable Chancellor of Anurag University, Dr. U.B. Desai, respected Head, Department of English, Dr. Anantalakshmi, respected teaching fraternity of my department, and most importantly, the galaxy of all international and national participants of this two-day international webinar. Very good morning to everyone. I am Dr. M. Srinivas Rao, Associate Professor of English, Anurag University. I extend a warm and hearty welcome to all the participants to the two-day international webinar on problems and prospects of online language teaching, organized by Department of English, Anurag University. It is indeed a matter of privilege and great pleasure for me to welcome two towering and inspiring personalities for this inaugural session. Honorable Chairman of Anurag University, Dr. Palla Rajeshwar Reddy, and the Chancellor of Anurag University, Dr. U.B. Desai. As everyone is aware of the fact that we are amid an extraordinary situation trying to emerge out of the global pandemic COVID-19 and the subsequent lockdown imposed by the government. With this unprecedented lockdown, everything has come to an abrupt halt, and the world of economics is not an exception. In this type of situation, e-teaching, e-learning, webinars, e-FDPs, e-SDPs have assumed a lot of significance, both for the students and teachers. Therefore, we are organizing this two-day international webinar to keep our learning updated. The other day, a college student told me recently, "Sir, colleges are closed, but not learning." I liked it. To start the inaugural session, I request Dr. Ananta Lakshmi, Head Department of English, to give welcome address.
Good morning, all of you. Hope all of you are doing well. The definition of SMS has changed now. When it is earlier short message service, now it is sanitizer, mask, and social distance. At this point of juncture, we from Anurag University thought of giving the strength to all the faculty in today's international webinar. Even I agree that, and all of you agree that, because like all other fields, educational field, particularly academics, and also teaching learning process was affected seriously because of the pandemic situation of COVID-19. All of us strongly believe that F2F teaching, that is face-to-face teaching, and the conventional mode of teaching, we have traveled a long way, and we believe strongly that is more effective. But still we have to turn on towards embracing the digital regime. Understanding the stress of the faculty, we have taken up this task of two-day international webinar on problems and prospects of online language teaching. Before sharing with you the schedule of these 2 days, I would like to share with you that we, Department of English, with the relentless support and encouragement from the management of Anurag University and the authorities, are contributing well in the placements of Anurag and also the overall personality development and competitive communicative competence of the students through various innovative practices like language projects, introduction of the open electives, and also task-based language learning, where students are involved in various tasks and they fulfilled it, and we could able to make our own share in the number of placements. And going forward, the two-day webinar sessions will be highly enlightening. The first session of today, very soon we are going to join with Dr. Muhammad Ali from University of IB University from Yemen. And the afternoon, after the lunch in the evening session, we'll be joining with Dr. Patricia Ackerman from Kansas State University, US. And tomorrow morning, we'll be having a great session by Dr. Lisa from Kansas State University, US. And the afternoon, we'll be joining together with Dr. Sushanto Saman from the University of Bandar Lampung from Indonesia. And looking forward for the great and enlightening session, I thank you all and welcome you once again to the enlightening sessions. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for your welcome address. Now it's time to invite our Chancellor, Dr. Desai, who received his BTech from IIT Kanpur, MS from State University of New York, USA, and PhD from the Johns Hopkins University, USA. He was the founding director of IIT Hyderabad, and at present he is Professor Emeritus at IIT Hyderabad. He served as a faculty at Washington State University and IIT Bombay. He also served in the capacity of Dean of Students at IIT Bombay and has been a visiting professor at Arizona State University, Purdue University, and Stanford University. May I request Dr. U.B. Desai, Chancellor, Anurag University, to address on this wonderful occasion.
Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. to address the gathering. First, I would like to also thank our chairman, Dr. Palla Rajeshwar Reddy. Okay, I'm also thankful to Madam Anantalakshmi for inviting me and organizing it. I'm extremely happy that this particular webinar has been organized, and that too on language teaching, as the title goes, and particularly online. As was mentioned by both the speakers, today we are going through a little difficult time. Okay, it is not the same as things were before. And in that sense, one has to adapt, one has to modify, and one has to come up with newer techniques for reaching out to our students. As they say, that learning has to go on. Okay, and fortunately for us, we have technology available to us to exploit to make sure that our students can still learn. But there are lots of challenges. As was mentioned by Dr. Anantalakshmi, face-to-face teaching, in-person teaching is much more efficient, much better. Not the same as online learning. But nevertheless, given current situation, online is a must and we cannot quite ignore it. Maybe if things improve, we can look at blended learning. Until things improve completely, then we can go back to face-to-face teaching. One of the key things we need to emphasize I believe in language teaching is not just teaching the language. I think it is the student should realize the importance of language. Today, what has happened, particularly I would say among engineers and among scientists, communication skills are never considered to be very important. They just believe that if there is an idea, that is good enough. So I think we need to bring back this appreciation among our younger generation that language is very, very critical. And if you cannot communicate your idea, then that idea has no value. It simply remains with you and nobody will be able to appreciate it. And effective communication, I'm not talking in terms of skills only, but in terms of language. And it has to be both. When we talk about language, both speaking and writing. And the third thing, which also is today lacking quite significantly, is reading. We have all used to, like what was mentioned, another acronym for expansion of SMS was given, but we are all used to short messages, maybe on WhatsApp or maybe on SMS or various other social media. The capacity for a student to sit and read maybe say 50 pages at a stretch is going down. Perhaps it is happening all over the world. It is nothing unique to India out here. So I would say again, in terms of language teaching, whether online or face-to-face and online, we need to bring this particular thing back that, okay, you must be able to read, comprehend and express. Now, what has happened, in my opinion, the way the language has been taught, okay, is in a traditional manner, somehow is not appealing to the youth. So we need to think of some innovations in pedagogy of language. One of the most important aspects for a human being is language, and we need to emphasize on the pedagogy of language. I think that the innovation, I will leave it to the faculty of Anurag University, the distinguished speakers that we have in this particular 2-day symposium. Okay, I think they can deliberate on that as to what innovation, not just online, but how to capture the imagination of the youth so that the youth is attracted and believes that, yes, I have to learn languages. Just talking in a language is not enough. We need to do a lot more than that. And that is one of my key messages. The other thing, because of online, that can be brought into picture, and this is a lot more easier for languages rather than for, say, engineering or sciences, where a lot more hands-on experience is required, is to get something like a online language lab going. Many a times you can learn a lot of languages by having an online system. So it's me and my computer. The professor has to be there, but the professor need not be there all the time. And it can become both cost effective as well as it become much more enriching to the student. And the student can learn at his convenience. Now that we are on the internet, we are doing it in online, they can sometimes schedule their timings accordingly. Okay. And some participatory things can be there. I think it will be wonderful. This is just an outlandish thought right now, in terms of actually enacting a language play. You can, suppose you're teaching English, and I've seen a lot of videos where people each one is sitting in their own home. Okay. And there is a video going on, I think, by ICICI, where there is this music about patriotism and what is happening today. Okay, so some kind of a play can be organized where each one is participating from their own home, but 6, 7 people are actually going through a play. Okay, and in the process, what happens is that it becomes fun. They are also learning a language. They are also learning how to express. Okay, so this is just one thought, something which the faculty of Anurag University could think about when they are thinking of teaching languages out here. So with these few words, once again, I congratulate Dr. Anant Lakshmi. I congratulate the faculty of the English department. And I thank our chairman, Dr. Palla Rajeshwar Reddy, for encouraging these sort of activities. These are very important. And such webinars need to be organized in today's time, A, to get visibility for Anurag University, A, B, to create international collaboration because you have participants, you have speakers from all over the world. And I think that's also very useful for both the faculty and the students of Anurag University. So with these few words, once again, compliments to everybody. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. You have been inspiring personality for us, and you have been guiding our university. And we started under your guidance the new courses like machine learning and artificial intelligence, computer science system engineering, construction technology management. And thank you very much for your valuable message, and hope that English department of Anurag University will try to take your suggestion, and we too will organize some events for the students online, like as you rightly said, that role plays or other things. Thank you so much, sir. May I now humbly request the captain of the ship, chairman of Anurag University, Dr. Palla Rajeshwar Reddy, MLC and chairman Telangana Raitu Bandhu Samiti, a dynamic leader, an erudite scholar, and a great academic administrator, to address all of us on this momentous occasion.
Thank you, Srinivas. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Anantalakshmi Madam, and the Department of English for giving me an opportunity to participate in the international webinar on English language procedure and whatever actually they thought for the next 2 days meeting. Just now I heard our Chancellor, great researcher and administrator UB Desai Garu. I do accept his feelings, and we need to readdress the language, English language, post-pandemic. I do believe that the teaching, the chalk and talk, cannot be replaced by any others. Maybe the other modes of the other modes and methods of teaching may be a supplementary, maybe a complementary, maybe an additional feature, but definitely it cannot replace a classroom chalk and talk. It may be the old fashioned, but that only gives the more information to the teacher and student, and also teacher also involves more. In this situation, we have to adopt the different methods because we cannot meet personally due to this pandemic, and definitely post-pandemic, definitely we, as our Chancellor said, there should be an online, there should be an offline, there should be a blended, different kinds of teaching methods will be evolved and they should be practiced. We have to replace most of the things. So right now, my feeling is also the teacher is challenged now. But earlier, when there is a classroom, the teacher definitely teaches, and whatever by actions and other things also definitely he can express and he can convince the student. But in the absence of a classroom, physical classroom, it is the more difficult to convince the student and accept the student. Whatever the teacher wanted to transfer the knowledge, the subject knowledge to the through online, through other means, it's definitely a challenging one. So during this method, we require a good English, good language, because writing a very complex, by learning the teaching English is a different. Teaching other languages is also a different thing. So they used to tell that there's other stories and other things and all other things. Present day, by using the communication, by using the technology, the present day students are actually killing the English. They are not using, instead of brother, they write the bro, information, info, and many things. Actually, it is very difficult to understand people like me. So now during this situation, so definitely it is a challenging for the teacher who has to learn English before learning the subject. So he has to present whatever the subject to the students in a very simple English, simple language, which can be understood by the students. Students also actually, they have to understand the importance of the English. If they are good at both English and subject, they can tell their interviewer, their recruiter, whoever is doing actually giving the job, they will look at both the things, whether the boy or girl has the subject, and the same subject can be informed, or actually he can share with others. So right now the situation is not, we are not working only in Hyderabad or only in Bangalore. If a software company is actually, their headquarters will be at the United States, and their one project may be done by the 6 or 7 groups sitting in the different 6 or 7 countries. So their languages are different. So the uniting language is only the English. The accent is different, and we need to have very simple language, communicative language. It should be understood by not only the students, by other groups of the people sitting in the different places. So now I feel that the kind of this type of webinars will help the faculty first instance to understand the requirements of the students, requirements of the companies, requirements of the society, to make it very simple. So because I may not be good at English, but I want a layman or a person who seeks a job, wants to learn the subject through English. So I thank the Anantalakshmi and other people also. They are doing the very excellent job by having so many international figures, international personalities into this, and whatever our Chancellor Sir says is valid, and we need to think and rethink in the present situation. Definitely the proceedings of these 2 days webinar will definitely help the teaching community, the teaching fraternity to re-innovate the English presence, or the English value, or the subject value, or the language value in the post-pandemic. So with these few words, I thank the organizers for giving me this chance, and definitely they will definitely think. Finally, once again, I want to say the English should be very simple. It should be communicative. It should be understandable to the stakeholders of this education system. So that will be done through such kind of webinars. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I'm happy that you have been supporting English department to introduce many courses at various years, in first year, second year, third year, and including fourth year with electives like soft skills for success, life skills for success, and also personality development and employability skills. Thank you very much, sir, for your inspiring and valuable message. Without a shadow of doubt, we believe that our institution has been progressing in all directions with your unstinting support and motivation. Thank you very much, sir. I thank both the guests today, Chancellor Sir UB Desai sir, and also Dr. Palla Rajesh sir, Chairman, for honoring our invitation and delivering the message. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot. We'll conclude this with the inaugural session. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much.
I also thank Director Sir, Dr. K.S. Rao sir. I also thank all the heads of the departments who have been witnessing this, and Deputy Director Dr. G. Vishnumurthy sir, and all the other resource persons who have been here. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot. Now, with this, we concluded this inaugural session now.
So I'm logging out. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Trailblazing edifice of technical education in Telangana, supported by world-class infrastructure, committed to create future-ready and industry-fit engineering minds. Anurag Group of
Now, for the morning session, the resource person is Dr. Muhammad Ali Abdullah Ali Kulaidi, University Teaching Professional, Translator, Interpreter, IB University, IB MN. He'll give his presentation on the imperative of online education in the 21st century. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Muhammad Ali Abdullah Ali Kulaidi, University Teaching Professional, Translator, Interpreter, and Trainer. He is at present working as translator and interpreter at IB University, Yemen Engineering Office Company, UNICEF Global Park Group, EU Commission for Election Monitoring, High Court, Yemen. Besides being a trainer in phonetics, spoken English, translated from Arabic to English, English to Arabic, he also obtained his PhD from English and Foreign Languages University, Hyderabad. He is member of Translators Without Borders, USC, member of Translation Cafe, Canada, member of Pros Come Translation Network, USC. He received many honors and prestigious awards like Certificate of Scientific Excellence by Vice President of Yemen, of being top ranker student of the batch in the BA program in English Studies, Faculty of Arts, IB University, Yemen. Certificates of merit and outstanding performance in both teaching and interpreting from IB University, Yemen. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now I request today's resource person, Muhammad Kulaidi, sir, Muhammad Kulaidi, to take over the session.
A very good morning. Yes, can you hear me?
There is echo, is there, sir? No, it's fine, sir.
So, am I audible?
You're audible, but there's some echo. If I'm right, you might have logged in into
Right,
devices,
okay.
maybe on laptop and mobile. That may be echoing, sir.
Right, okay, fine. بس تعال نشوف محتاج
And I request you to unmute your videos. Muhammad sir. Am I audible, Muhammad? I think there is some technical glitch.
Can you hear me now, sir?
Yeah, absolutely. You're audible, sir. You're audible.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, sir.
Yeah. Is it like there is some technical issue, it seems to me, right?
Now it's fine. Now it's fine. If you are able to unmute your video, that will be good.
Right, okay. I request you, prior to this, I have sent Dr. Bobby the video. If you can just share that video, and then I'll go on to the PPT presentation, please, if you would, please. Bobby, Dr. Bobby is available as well?
Yeah, he is available, sir. We'll do it. We'll do it, sir. Give us some moment.
So there is a short video, no problem. I'll just, if we can, I have to share this one, small video, and then I'll start my PPT presentation. I have to share a video.
Yeah, Muhammad, good morning. Hello? Hello, Muhammad.
Trailblazing edifice of technical education in Telangana, supported by world-class infrastructure, committed to create future-ready and industry-fit engineering minds. Anurag Group of
Most of you probably working from home. So I'd like to share a few recommendations so that we can have this more session, more learning. Our aim is to give you the very best experience that we can. Before we start, we have few recommendations to help you get the most of the sessions. We recommend you to wear the headphones to get better quality audio and just to hear better as well. Try not to have anything running in the background, especially Skype, social media. Try to switch off programs if you can. During the webinar, you need to be able to use the text box. You can find the feedback link in the chat box. If you have any comments or questions, you can do the same. Always be on time for every session. Sit in a quiet place to attend your online webinar. Keep the essentials near you to note down important points and learnings. Keep away distractives like pets, television, etc. Thank you. I'm sure that you're all aware, you have received the flyer of the international webinar, Problems and Prospects of Online Language Teaching. Just to remind you about these sessions today, we are right now in the session of Muhammad Ali Abdullah Al Khulaidi, University of Teaching Professional, University. And in the evening, 6 o'clock to 7:30, we'll be having session by Dr. Patricia Ackerman, Professor, Language Arts Curriculum and Instruction, University Distinguished Teaching Scholar, Kansas State University, USA. The topic, Effective Online Teaching of Technical Writing Skills. And tomorrow, we'll be having the session at 9 a.m. by Lisa Shepe, Preparing Faculty and Support Students through Online Education in American Universities. And in the afternoon, we'll be having session by Susanto on the topic effective tools to test the students' language ability in online learning process. I request everybody to note down the speakers and the topics and the timings so that you'll not be missing any session. At the end of the session, we'll be sharing the feedback link in the chat box. We request everybody to fill the feedback link. And all the participants who attend 4 sessions will be given e-certificates at the end of the second day evening. Hence, all the participants are requested to attend all the 4 sessions so that you will not miss anything from the sessions. As we are all aware that continuous professional development is the need of the day. In the evening, we'll be sending the link at 5:30. And we'll be starting the session by 5:35, addressed by Professor S. Ramchandram, Vice Chancellor, Anurag University. And followed by the resource person, Dr. Patricia E. Ackerman, on the topic, effective online teaching of technical writing skills. So, Mohammed, so there's some technical issue we are facing here. Is it okay if you can go ahead with the session so that we'll try to find out the solution for the technical issue over here?
Unable to share. I can also too.
Now, the first session is the imperative of online education in the 21st century. Dr. Muhammad Ali Abdullah Ali Kulaibi.
Yes, very good morning. Is it okay? Is it audible now?
It's audible, but you're not visible.
Yeah. So we are sorry. This is sometimes we cannot trust these technical issues. They happen.
That's fine. That's fine.
It happens to the best of us. So I am really and extremely sorry.
That's fine.
It is unstable. Yeah. So I have been trying a lot, and we shall now proceed. There was a right. Okay. So as now the screen is on your is already shared to your. Is it okay now? The screen with you?
No, you have not screen. You have not shared any presentations.
I
It's
am
not
trying
visible.
to share and it's not sharing.
Yeah, it's not
I am
visible.
sharing and it failed. I don't know what is the problem. So one thing, we can do one thing, sir. I have already forwarded the PPT to Dr. Bobby. I can read the slides. He can put one by one, and I'll go on with the talk.
Sure. We'll go ahead with it. We'll
Right.
go ahead with that.
Right
Dr.
now, is it
Babidoli,
okay
I
now?
request you to share the presentation on the screen.
Right. Okay. Now. So right. Okay. So I'm just waiting for the slideshow to be there. Right. Okay. And we will shortly start. Yes.
Yeah, we could resolve it. Now we are sharing the video now. Yeah, Bobby Dooley is ready. Now I request Mohammed to take over the session.
Very good morning all once again, and I am really delighted to be among you, among this wonderful cluster of academicians, and I have very strong attachment to India. I have been taught there, and I have lectured there. I have also trained many participants, students on phonetics and language, in translating in many things, and this webinar is yet another expression, and it will be a step forward for further future collaboration. Thank you very much indeed, and I'm really sorry for the internet instability connectivity, so we will go. I request you, I have shared you the PPT. The moment I say next, immediately you go to the next slide, please, and
Sure.
I'll keep on talking.
Sure,
right?
sure, sir. Sir, you're not visible, sir. Can you unmute your video, sir?
Online education imperative in the 21st century. I have selected this topic, but keeping in mind that I have to focus on the theme of the webinar of this seminar, of online seminar, that it has to do something to do with online language learning and teaching problems and prospects. Next slide, yes, next. Next slide, you can go to next immediately, yeah. And the talk, I'll talk about online education, the same concept, but with multiple and diverse terms. And we will go then to its definitions, the history of its development over time. Online education hasn't happened overnight. And how technology, the technological advances, how they shaped everything in our educational system. It impacted all aspects of life, and education is no exception. And education of the 21st century, what type of education do we need compared to the 20th century education? And why online education? The imperative of online education, the prospects and the merits of online education. And at the same time, I'm not here to talk that online education is the imperative and discard altogether traditional on campus and traditional learning. It is there, but we have to integrate ICT into our educational practices and what needs to be done. How to fix our broken education systems, what is to be done, and the future of online education. Next. Online education, the moment we come across this term, the terminology itself, online education, it has multiple terms, but it is the same, it carries the same meaning, and it is the same concept with multiple terms. We call it, they call it computer-based training, web-based training, internet-based training, online training, e-learning, electronic learning, mobile learning, computer-aided distance education, and even they say home-based learning, and the list goes on. But at the core of this all, online education carries the same, this is simply, we put it this simply, it is electronically supported, and it's internet dependent for teacher-student interaction and class material distribution and management. Next. Online education has been defined by many scholars, and among these definitions, we have Michael Isaac, who defines online education as no more than a hodgepodge of ideas and practices taken from traditional classrooms and imposed on learners who just happen to be separated from an instructor. Here we have this simple idea. It is traditional learning and classroom is there, but what happens in distance or in online education is that there is the learner and the teacher are not in the same place. They are at different places. And Hussein and Siddiqui 2016 say that this is an inclusive, it is inclusive of all educational technology forms, supporting teaching and learning electronically. And online education also means, as defined by Moore and Kersley, teaching and planned learning, in which teaching normally occurs in a different place from learning, requiring communication through technologies, as well as special institutional organization. The same thing that we are doing right now, right here. I'm speaking from Yemen, other professors at different places, and other listeners and participants from different places and localities. This is the core of online education as defined by scholars. The development of online education didn't happen overnight. It took time. If we trace the beginnings of distance education, it originated as distance education in the United States in the 18s through correspondence programs. And the first program to start was in the University of Chicago, where correspondence happened for this kind of distance education. And in the following years, radio was invented as a communication medium during World War I, and this helped immensely in the field of distance education, and that happened in the 1920s. Going back into the 1950s, television became very much popular, and visual instruction made it possible in teaching and learning. And teaching and learning was fun with the advent of television technology. In the 1970s and 80s, we witnessed computer and emailing technology, which contributed to distance education expansion, and that helped a lot. Next, please. The first online course offered in 1981 by Western Behavior Science Institute was a case in point. First online program was also established in the following year in the same institute. We are tracing back the development of online education through the years starting from the 18s and then 1920s, 1950 and 17. And in the mid-1980s, online undergraduate and postgraduate courses started at colleges and universities across the globe. Satellite technology then enhanced distance education immensely. WWW advent, internet in the 1990s transformed education very much, distance education, and it was a milestone to a rapid growth of online education. Not only online courses were offered, but entire degree programs in universities. And we keep continuing up to cloud meeting in the development of online teaching. It started all with correspondence. We are tracing it back. It started with correspondence, and then with radio, television, satellite technology, computer, and emailing, and WWW or internet, which revolutionized the field of education altogether and provided us with new possibilities and new learning experiences. If we look into the past 20 years, the internet has grown from being non-existent into the largest, most accessible database of information ever created. It has changed the way people communicate, shop, socialize, do business, and think about knowledge and learning. You can just imagine the possibility of having the access to information. The flow of information is no more the same as before. You can access anything, anytime, anywhere in just a click of on your mobile or device. And this is one of the greatest blessings of modern human civilization. Much more than just a new twist on distance learning, online schooling is changing the face of traditional classroom. Yes, it is changing, and we don't have to hold only to the traditional teaching practices or methods. We have to make education more accessible than ever before, and this is the important thing which makes online education imperative. We have to change. If we never change our practices and methodologies, the way we teach with all these rapid changes, we will end up having no future as teachers or learners. We will be irrelevant. How technology impacted education or all facets of life. Technology impact is felt in all facets of life. Technology has made human life easy as never before. And you can travel, you can do business, you can do anything with the help of technology. It has made life convenient in unthinkable ways. Technology has revolutionized the field of education, and that is very much evident to everyone. The revolution is evident in every aspect in the educational system. The problem is this: we are not utilizing technology. We are not keeping the match between the race between technology and education. Technology is advancing to points we don't know where technology is taking us to. But the thing is that sometimes we are holding on to an educational system that belongs to the past century, and here comes the gap. In terms of education, technology enabled forms of communication, collaboration, and dreamt of in the past. It also made access to learning opportunities very much evident and easy in an unprecedented, and thanks to technology, because of this, we access learning anytime, anywhere, and the universal use of websites provided opportunities for development of online communities. I am teaching online. I am teaching all the time online. We are now coming to the COVID-19 pandemic. It's very important. Pandemic has made us we have to rethink our educational system. The pandemic has made students all over the globe in a lockdown inside houses. And this is very much, it's not recommended. It has serious lifelong consequences of students are detached from school or from the educational process, from the learning and process. Online education is imperative in this aspect. We don't have to disengage or disconnect our students. It is very difficult. We are doing our bits in universities, and this webinar doesn't only reflect Anurag's vision in education, how to make our learners connected and engaged all the time. It reflects India's vision, and it reflects a worldwide vision. This is for teachers, nothing is impossible. We have to reach our students in whatever resources, in whatever material. We have to be in touch, and this is the important thing. I am teaching online. We are guiding students, international experiences. We can share it on this webinar. We are guiding our research students. We are also teaching them. We do teaching even with the smallest social media apps, with WhatsApp, with let alone Zoom. Sometimes you have to consider serious things. Not all people will have this connectivity. Some students, the digital divide is here. Some learners will be having the digital equipment and everything. Others will not. And there arises the problem of inequality. But we can start with WhatsApp. We can do online courses. We can teach our students. We can do everything. And it is working a lot. Next, please. emailing and chatting, conferencing, you can just imagine working together via Google Drive, Google Documents, Dropbox, Facebook, Twitter have been widely used in online classrooms. And this is the same that we are doing in Yemen with my students, in India, in America, in Indonesia, in different countries of the world. So it is a blessing. It has to be like this, not only from now, because COVID-19 has forced us to rethink, to restructure our educational system, but it should have been there years and years back. Technology has also begun to change the rules of teacher and learners. This is a very important point which I'd like to emphasize. The problem, I have been lecturing in Yemen and outside Yemen, and lecturing and giving this perspective to student or to the society that the teacher is the one who gives everything. The student doesn't have any opportunity or anything to learn. The teacher is the giver of information. The student is simply the receiver of information. With the advent of technology, this is not there anymore. The student learning is student-centered. We are motivating our students, stimulating them to learn. We don't have to tell them everything. We have to just channelize and monitor their capabilities. And with this technology has shown us many ways as teachers, but we have how to utilize technology in a good way to make our students be our how to learn, how they can apply what they learned in real life, in reality. Is it there? We in classes, I have to listen to stimulate them. I don't have to tell them simply this is the thing, that the material, and you have to memorize this and come and throw it back in the exam time. It is not holding the true. We have to develop the skills required for the 21st century are unthinkable. We are the younger, those jobs 10 years back or 5 years back. So we don't have to. We don't have to say as the 21st century. What is the coming to the 21st century education? The education of the 21st century is a virtual one. It is an education that integrates ICT, communication technology, to traditional educational systems. This is the type of education that we need in the 21st century. And it is a kind of blended learning. I am not here to tell that online learning will solve our education. There are big problems in education, but I am not here to say that online and technology will replace the traditional teacher, or it will solve the divide or the gap. No, the 21st century is a virtual reality in everything, in all aspects of life. And education has to integrate this and blend this technology, ICT technology, into our educational practices, and things will be fine. So the 21st century is all about creativity. We have to make our students creative. They have to come up with their own ideas and be creative. Students don't have to think only about the curriculum. They have to be problem solvers. We are giving them social responsibility and the end of problem solving. And students also have to be innovation is another aspect, another important skill of the 21st century education system. Communication. We have to communicate knowledge, to communicate ideas, to communicate concerns, everything. And the 21st century is focusing on such thing. And it is an education that is educational system that is that has many connections, and it is more oriented to productivity. We are banking on students with a sense of productivity, somebody who will be productive and serving the society in different aspects. Education should make a sense. The outcome, the educational system of the 21st century is not curriculum-based, it is an outcome-based. And the 21st century education system is based on collaboration. We are not learning in isolation, in traditional ways, and we are traditional systems. Teaching and learning happen in isolated places inside classroom walls, university walls, school walls. In 21st century, it never happens only there. It happens anywhere outside the college, school walls. Education in the 21st century has an accountability. This is a kind of responsibility. One has to be accountable. I'm learning something, I have to be accountable. I have to do something. And exploration. We are exploring many things in our educational system. Students, learners, teachers as well explore many things in the teaching and learning process. And it is initiative-based. Teacher, student takes the initiative and comes up with something tangible and felt by everyone. Next, please. In the 21st century, innovation has played an important role in this effective use of teaching and learning virtual programs. Innovation is at the core of our educational system nowadays. We don't have to be traditional or just followers of something. Somebody did this and I have to do the same. We have to be innovative because our problems, our current present day problems, future problems need innovation. They need innovation, and if we just recollect that very important thing with we are recollecting anecdotes and real stories with 21st century scholars and scientists. They did their PhDs or research projects on something. Immediately after that, he comes with another project and contrary to the previous one. If he finds something, and there comes innovation. Innovation is needed very much in educational system for solving our present day needs, to bridge the gap, to meet modern, to bridge the gap. Modern audiovisual aids in our educational system today have taken teaching and instruction to the next level. We are teaching, and we are as if we are in the same room. And this is, it is driving us into new frontiers and possibilities. Even though there are some barriers, we don't know the interaction, the absorption of the learners to what we say, or we can say that whether the teacher is following all the learners and that kind of thing, but it is driving us into new realities and new frontiers. Modern educational teaching systems comprise virtual classroom, teachers, teaching material, audio-visual tools, and conference software have made teaching a click-away task. We are providing right now, we are providing online courses not only inside university, even to international students, and we are working from home. We are working online, and this is something that has never been thought of. So, and this gives the students the opportunity to have access to experts worldwide. He doesn't have only to think of one teacher inside the classroom. He can access knowledge at the hand of experts anytime, anywhere, at the hand of many experts globally. If we have just a small look at a comparison, a brief comparison at the 20th century education compared to the 21st century education. If we have a look at this one, 20th century educational system focus on filling the vessel. We have just to give this material to the student because it is required, it is part of the requirement of the course or whatever. And this is not the same when it comes into the 21st century. We're kindling the fire. The student has a potential inside him. Any student, any learner has a potential to learn something, but the role of a teacher, and technology and online learning is changing the role of a teacher, is to kindle that fire inside the student and make him love learning, learning to learn. And 20th century, we are just retelling the things that are written by others without thinking of present day need or problem. But in the 21st century, discovery, we are discovering new things. It's not retelling. Educational system is based on discovery. You have to discover to find out. 20th century is information-based. Education in 20th century is information-based. You have just information. You have to take from that information and nothing more. In the 21st century, it is learning to learn. It is the process of learning. It is a continuous, endless process, and you have to learn many things. And this learning will reflect in outside realities, in present day realities. 20th century education is time-based. We have to be, we have to respect the time. We are constrained by the time. In the 21st century, it is an outcome-based. What is the outcome of our education? Is there any outcome? Is there any tangible thing? So this is what 21st century education is all about. 20th century, it is text-driven. We are just focusing on the curriculum. We have to focus on what is there in the curriculum without giving a thought to research, which is not always true. 21st century is based on the idea of research. Research is very important to find out, to discover, to solve problems, to innovate, to do many things. 20th century is education is characterized by passive learning. Students are sitting in a class and they don't have to do anything, just to listen and memorize, and the teacher gives everything. In the 21st century, it is student-centered learning. It is an active learning. You are a part of the game. You are the center of the educational process, of the learning process, the student. It is not that the rule has changed. And 20th century education, we work in isolation. People work in isolation in closed rooms, schools and colleges and universities, and you are working alone and you will be graded there for whatever you do. But in the 21st century, education is based on collaboration. You have to collaborate. Ideas, things, and learning happens in a collaborative environment. The 20th century curriculum is a fragmented one. It has many shortcomings, and at the same time, it is there. We are using it, but with integrating technology into that. The 21st century integrates curriculum, traditional curriculum, with technologies, with whatever things we have at present day. And the 20th century teacher is a judge. But now, who is my judge? While I'm speaking, worldwide audience is the judge, and the student has to be also involved in that process. Next, please. Why online education? Why? This is a very important question, and it is the imperative of online education in today's world. And online education has become a must. It is a necessity. If we are just considering what is happening nowadays, COVID-19 has impacted everything in unthinkable ways as never before. Nobody predicted this much to happen to the world educational system, economy, everything has stopped. And in the midst of all this, of this challenge, online education is an imperative thing. We have to consider it as an imperative for the reasons listed here under. Online education increases access to learning as a matter of equity. Everybody is equal. It is a right. Education and learning is a right for every individual human being. And online education makes it possible for all to learn and do something. Traditional education, going to school in times like this one, it is impossible to go. With online education, we have access to learning, and with this accessibility is a very important dimension of online education. Online education provides opportunities for updating skills. We need skills for the present day reality, for the labor market, for companies, for everything. And online education will equip us with such opportunities. Online education at the same time improves cost effectiveness of educational resources. You don't have to go to college or to for distance, the cost of transport and sitting and other expenses and everything. Online education has made it all easy and cost effective. It reduced the cost of resources and many other things. It also improves quality of existing educational structure. The quality is enhanced in terms of ensuring that technology and skills required, soft skills, present day and future skills are integrated into the educational practice of today. Online education also enhances the capacity of educational system. It enhances it a lot. We can host hundreds, or you can say thousands, instead of few particular students, 50, 60, 70 inside a classroom. It increases the capacity of this in terms of making many learners come to learn at the same time. It provides emergency training. Online education is a must because it provides emergency training. Now we have, with the outbreak of COVID-19, Harvard University is offering many emergency online courses to teach not only medical stuff, but anyone can get acquainted with that, how to deal with this pandemic, how to get trained at times of emergency. And this is another blessing of online education. Online education has internationalized, had many things. It has added an international dimension to the educational experience. We are having this international experience everywhere. It also encourages independent, self-directed learning. A student can move at likes. It accelerates national digital literacy. This is a very important thing which is to be considered not only in Yemen, in India, in different countries across the globe. There is a digital divide. When we talk about the online education, we have to be serious. We have to be also realistic that there is a digital divide. Those people with access to digital devices and equipment, and those on the other opposite. This is a very important thing, but with online education, with the governments and policymakers, considering this question and matter seriously in looking into the infrastructure in equipping learners with the needed technology, at least the basic one, online education will accelerate national digital literacy in this sense, which is very important. Next, please. Next. we have to think of bridging the gap is our current educational system so waiting the screen to come and I have to proceed.
Bobby, you can go to the next slide. Sorry,
Yeah,
that's
a few of the benefits of online education. Can you just go back to the first? Can you come back to the first slide, please, if you could, please, because that kind of disconnectivity. Yes, interactivity. A few of the benefits of online learning include interactivity via real-time conversation, like the one we are doing here. So we are interacting. You can ask me anything. I can ask my students. Student can ask me. I can guide them. I can tell them this is that, and I have to listen to them even. And this is a very important thing. Coming to the theme of the seminar, that it is on language learning and teaching, problems and prospects. With the teaching of spoken English, the listening and the speaking aspect, online education is really important and effective and proficient. I've been doing this for years, even in India. I have to test students by recording audio files, and I have to test, they have to listen to their own recordings, and I have to see what is going there. And I have to tell them this and this and that, so I can at the same time make them interact with native speakers of the language. And because of online learning and interaction, this is a very important aspect. It gave them also the motivation to learn. When they listen and when they see what is that they have to do in how they should speak this one and how to make it in the right way. So this is a very important thing when it comes to language learning with reference to spoken or speaking and listening. Another thing is bringing hybrid learning into existence. We cannot tell that technology will do and solve all our problems in our broken education system today. Broken, I mean with some shortcomings, which are not matching with the ongoing advances and realities of present day life. So we are, this kind of online learning, it has made hybrid learning has come into existence with easy on-demand updated courses material. So blended, it can be like a teacher is there, but with technology connecting him with students, we are taking from the traditional thing, the interaction. In traditional educational system, we cannot claim that technology or online teaching will make interaction between a teacher and students. Like in class, it is different, the interaction. I can observe my students. I can see who is observing, who is with me, who is distracted. And this is not available in online, unfortunately, but the interaction is there and the hybrid learning is there. And students have this kind of blended learning. Online and offline information regarding courses and other activities such as exams, submissions of assignment, holidays are easily accessible. With online, it is more efficient, it is much better. We can keep a record of students online of their, instead of carrying all their assignments. Or of online has made it more easy and accessible. Another thing is the ability to learn at one's own pace. Some students are slow and some students are very smart. And this is one of the challenges that I face in my classes, either inside my country or outside. I have to focus on slow learners. Online education has given this opportunity to a learner to learn at the speed or the pace he likes. So he will gain something at the end of the day, as opposed to the pace dictated by the class. And traditional learning methods, so this is the time of the class, you have to learn this or not. In online learning, it's not always true. You can learn at your own pace, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, anytime, now, in the morning, in the afternoon, anytime in the day. Next slide, please. Flexibility also, it comes under learning. Learner can, yes, it is flexible. Online learning makes it flexible for students to learn whatever material or whatever thing that they need, and the teacher, they select, and the resources and other things till they learn. The reduced cost, already I discussed it in a previous slide, but with a different perspective. Here, I want to learn something at Harvard University with reference to any course they are offering. If I want to travel there, and I have to book my tickets and other things, and it will be a long story. With online learning, it is all reduced. You can study at home, you can participate, you can interact, you can register, and then you can learn, and the cost is very much reduced, and it is really a blessing of online learning and technology. Networking opportunities is also another good thing of online learning. We have the opportunity and the chance to communicate with different people, new people at different places, and that is really important. Documentation is also another thing. Documentation has become easy for emails or whatever, the material, anything that you like will be documented via online, apart from being handwritten or whatever. Access to expertise is another added value of online education. If I want to learn something about phonetics or about translation or about forensic phonetics, I have to see who is the expert. Here I can access Dr. Susanto or anyone. So online learning makes it possible for you to access that one, which is really important. Online learning contributed to remove the distance among educational institutions worldwide. University, Kansas University, Arizona University, and Bandar Lambang University in Indonesia, with many, this distance is no more. It's not there because of online education. This is one added value, a very important thing for sharing international experiences. The experiences that we all have the same concern in education, and we are sharing our experiences, and we are working in collaboration to come into something that is in the best interests of our learners and also administrators and everyone. So next slide, please. Concerns and demerits. Online education is a must. It is really important for the reasons I have already mentioned, but there are few important dimensions to be considered and to be taken into account. So some people, even tech skeptics, people who say online is not, some people go to the extent that they say online credentials are not guaranteed or are not credentials. So we have come across this sometimes, some skeptics and other things. They say that it has easy scopes or cheating or plagiarism. Some learners, some people, they say that content that is online, the material, whatever it being, some people will come and put it there without giving an effort or any research endeavor. So this is one of the concerns that is haunting or preoccupying tech skeptics. Savvy and non-technical students, digital divide, inequality. This is another problem. Online learning is really important. It is a must. We have to connect with our students. At the same time, we have to consider that there are students who have no access to such digital equipment. How can we deal with such learners? So this is a serious issue which need to be addressed by policymakers, by educators, administrators, social leaders. Everyone have to look into this. Now everybody is using internet. They are using a device in one way or another, but how to make it very much relevant in our educational, for our educational purposes. This is the important thing. We have to bridge the gap, the digital divide. Another thing is the poor infrastructure. If we think of online education, we cannot be over-ambitious right now. It is important, but we have to look into our infrastructure. Is every student having a device, internet connectivity? Is our institution is well equipped for everything? This is a very important thing. The poor infrastructure is another setback of online education in the 21st century for many countries. Some countries like Japan, Korea, and the United States, and many countries, they have well-equipped infrastructure, and it's okay, no problem at all. It is okay, but for other countries, the case in point is my country in Yemen, and some places, even in different places in other developing countries, the poor infrastructure remains a challenge in the face of online education. And it is the responsibility not only of us. We are not only the responsible ones at universities as teachers, professors, administrators, but also policymakers and governments have to spend a lot, and they have to be generous in considering this important point. And teachers, another concern and demerit of this one, teachers' lack of knowledge and experience to manage virtual interaction. If I am teaching online, I don't have that freedom or the ability to observe every learner, whether he's following me or not. I am not who is following, who is not. And the lack of social interaction. We are not socially close together, but we are virtually together now. And that is why even the term in COVID-19, social distancing, even if I don't like this social, social with the sense and the connotation that we are together, there is a sense of togetherness inside the classroom or inside the meeting hall. And this kind of social interaction is only there in traditional system. In online system is only virtual one, but we have to deal with to manage the crisis instead of disconnecting and disengaging students. And we have the lack of direct immediate feedback from teacher. Sometimes some students want to ask me in the middle of my talk, or somebody will raise his hand and he has to ask me a question. Virtually, he will not be able to do that. Some people can ask me, but it's not like in asking like in a classroom. So they have to take the immediate feedback from the teacher under question. Next. What needs to be done? So I have been focusing on the idea of digital divide, on also the poor infrastructure. If we don't change with the present day realities as teachers, if we don't integrate the ICT, the information communication technology, into our educational practices and purposes, we will end up as irrelevant, as having no future, both teachers and learners. And we have to change with current realities. And teacher training, even digital literacy, and even continuous professional development is a must, not only in teaching, in every aspect of life, in medicine, in engineering, everywhere. This teaching, this training is a must, because we have to be updated all the time. We don't have to think or to hold on to ideas of many years back, because our students will go out for something unprepared, for new skills that they have never heard of. So teacher training should be there, how to deal with such things and changes, and governments, policymakers have to spend with generosity to ensure a very good infrastructure that incorporates ICT into the educational institutions and organizations. Next. Future of online education. Online education is here. It is here and to stay in the future. Online education, we don't know what's in store for tomorrow. We have unpredictable changes. So online education will definitely bloom. It will grow. and it will transform the educational process in ways that we can never tell or predict. And the future is full of new possibilities. And with this, I come to the end of this presentation. I have many things to say, but this is just to give a short international experience with reference to online education in a time of lockdown, pandemic. COVID-19 pandemic has made us rethink seriously. We have to rethink our educational, the way we teach, the way we will learn. It's a very important thing. Anurag University has to be thanked very much. I thank the administration of this wonderful university, starting from the chancellor, the vice chancellor, the head of the department, the organizers, the wonderful committee for organizing this exceptional webinar, which is a must. We have to focus on such, we have to sensitize such important issues, not only inside the university, but also the society at large. And I thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to say a few words. And I'm thankful also to your country, wonderful country where I've been taught. Thank you very much for attending. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for the informative session. Before we propose vote of thanks, I request the participants, if you have any questions, you can type the questions in your chat box. You got very good appreciation from the participants, sir. Ramon
yes,
says, be a Roman in Rome.
Any questions, any queries, any good talk is that which raises so many questions.
There are many compliments are there, sir, rather than the questions. Very informative and excellent session by Samir Vairagi. Swarupa says, thank you for being with us, sir. And good session, sir, Mahesh.
Thank you so
Mustaka
much.
says, thanks for inspiring. Thank you very much. Excellent session, sir. And there's one question, sir.
Yeah, we are waiting for questions. In a good talk is that which raises so many questions. We have to, yes,
there's one question,
learn.
sir.
In questions we are learning. We have to consider many things. I'm just reading whatever just came to my mind. Yeah.
Sir, a question is that, is present curriculum suitable for online education?
A very good question. This is a very good question. The curriculum, is it for the online education? That is a very good question, which needs to be considered. Yes, we have to change. I didn't mention or tell that traditional curriculum is okay, because I don't know whether it serves the needs of present, the labor market. Does it serve that? If the curriculum serves that, it is okay to integrate it into online education. If not, online education is also thinking seriously of integrating or of developing a material and structuring material. The material and the curriculum has to be structured and has to be developed and designed in such a way that serves the needs of the student, that updates him and equips him with the skills required when he goes out, he steps out of the college or of the school. Will he find a place? If the curriculum integrates such things and ideas, if the skills needed are there, it is a good one. If not, I can't tell the curriculum now, so many shortcomings, many things. Curriculum sometimes, the other 2 years back, we were discussing with an American professor in an Indian university. He said, you are holding on to curriculum that belongs to the 20th century while we are in the 21st century and the needs are different. So it has to be developed and we have to rethink it and restructure it. It's a very good question.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, sir. There are many appreciation, like people are appreciating you for a very informative session, and they're also telling that the teaching class going to serve the purpose of school going children through online. So there's one more question, like Are virtual teaching classes going to serve the purpose of school-going children through online teaching? Srilata, B. Srilata would like to answer. She would like to know the answer for this question, sir. Are virtual teaching classes going to serve the purpose for school-going children through online teaching?
They can do some virtual classrooms will do the purpose for for the school-going children. Will it be okay? It will serve the purpose. Yes, I have a kid. My kid is below 10 years. He's below 10 years. He's about with virtual classes. He was taught in India. He was taught in India, and with virtual classes, we're speaking with a British friend and a teacher. He speaks like a British student. So they serve. When students, when children see videos, when they interact, they will learn something. I cannot claim that a child, a school-going child, needs a teacher inside the class. He needs him because the immediate feedback is given right away to the child, and that will be definitely different. And at the same time, the teacher will be able to observe and monitor the child, whether he's observing or not, whether he's learning. It is different, but virtual classes are doing good with school-going children. I have tried it myself with my own kid.
Thank you.
With reference to language learning and listening, it is highly important and very good, especially with the skill of listening.
Thank you. There is one more question by Devraj Tambuswamy. Is online course a bliss or curse to the economically deprived? As we know that we have got digital divide in the world. So is online course a bliss or curse to the economically deprived?
No,
Devraj Tambuswamy would like to know.
No, because see, I have said that because I knew such type of questions. Many people will tell me I am talking about online education. We are talking on online education. At the same time, we have to see the divide. And it is unfortunate to see some students, I cannot term it as he says, a curse to the deprived. This one, it is the policymaker responsibility and to consider this very much, because they are all human beings. They are active members of the society. They have to be provided with basic digital needs to bridge this gap. It is not a curse, but the government has to seriously think about this. Policymakers have to consider this because they are responsible for all citizens. All citizens are equal before the law, and they have to have the right and access to education, to online education. And this is a right that has to be addressed by policymakers.
Thank you, sir. You said wonderfully. That's government has to take attention so that there is no disparity, there is no digital divide.
Yeah, this is because this is in the Declaration of Human Rights. Also, access to education and everything is a must.
Correct.
And we are aware that there is a divide, there is inequality, and this is one of the major challenges ahead of us with reference to online education. And it's not only at the hand. I cannot claim that Anurag University will bridge this divide to all its students. Students are coming from different localities and parts of the country with nothing. I mean, he will have just his mobile, but having this technique of Zoom and other things, they all will not be having the same thing. So the government has to rethink the education system. The poor infrastructure have to be equipped with in Korea, everything is excellent with reference to digital literacy. So, and step by step, it is a collaboration of the universities, schools, educators, and government to find a way out of this challenge.
Yeah, Rahmatullah asked me, what are the reaction of lecturers and students for online teaching?
Very good question. The reactions, Hashimi, this is Hashimi, sir, is asking me. It's okay. The reactions by written, we will know some questions will be we can understand what is the question of the somebody who is inquiring about something, but the reaction inside the classroom won't be like online learning. Online learning, I have mentioned in my presentation, one of the demerits, one of the concerns of offering online, and those tacky skeptics, they say that the interaction in online learning is not quite enough, or it's not up to the purpose as in traditional learning. Traditional learning, when the teacher is inside the class, he will observe every student, and he will, if any distraction happens with any student, he will immediately follow up that student, and the student can get the immediate right feedback from the teacher. Online learning is not like that. I admit that online interaction is not as in traditional learning. But it doesn't mean that we don't have to take online learning. Online learning does a lot to our students. This is the important thing.
You rightly answered. There was the same question related to that.
The same
is online
question,
teaching
we are not
education
telling
more
here that
effective?
online learning will replace traditional learning. No, we are telling that blended learning, traditional learning has to integrate technologies and everything, because the skills needed for today to our students, they require the inclusion of technology into our educational practices for the skills needed for today and tomorrow.
Yeah, I think Sneha Birawali ma'am, your question is answered. No, is online teaching
Yes.
education more effective to the students than the traditional teaching? I think it's answered.
Hmm.
Thank you very much, sir, for your elaborately explaining the queries. The biggest challenge is to motivate the students to go with this evolution in teaching and learning. Minimegali, yes. Should like to know that how to motivate the students. This is a challenge that no teaching students online.
Thank you for the organizers of this. Yes.
You are not audible, sir.
Because yes, there was some internet issue. Yes, please. Can you just repeat that question, sir?
So how to motivate the students to be, take classes online? Because most of the times, if you are in the class, the motivation levels and how you do is different. But when you are in the online, how to motivate the students?
And I am teaching right now. I am teaching students from Yemen. I am training translators online. I have done a few courses, and when I have to follow each and every student, I have to give them, I'm following everyone to give them something that is related to present day need. I am giving them something from, not just from the curriculum, I have to give him something relevant to the labor market. He has to translate a document, a legal document, or a medical report, or anything. We are doing that training online. The student goes out, he finds work in any organization or whatever. He has that sense of accomplishment when he learns online something that is practical, something of purpose, something that is needed. So he has to be, we have to motivate students, we have to encourage them even online by giving them the relevant material, sir. The relevant material is very important. Irrelevant things are very much discouraging to the students.
Correct. Even Gurucharan Kocharla also says the same thing. Online learning is better than no learning. Thanks for the session, he says.
Yes, and when it comes, sir, to even listening, I have been teaching in India, in Yemen, in different countries. I have students from all over the globe. And online learning helped a lot students to learn very well, and some will speak in an amazing ways. So this is because of online learning. And they don't have only to follow the model inside the class. Suppose my accent is not that up to the mark because I'm not a native speaker of the language. They have to listen to a native speaker, to another one, to another one. With this opportunity, they speak in an amazing way. In level one in the College of Education or College of Arts, and we have been doing that, and the results are really fantastic.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for answering all the questions. I think we are sharing the feedback link. Please bear with us. So we were sending the other feedback link. It will be shared within few minutes. Okay, thank you so much. If there are any
Thank
other
you.
questions, we'll try to answer them. We have 5 minutes more. If somebody would like to ask any questions. Sir, Joshua Manohar asks, can you suggest some websites which provide supports school education?
Definitely, yes. Definitely, I have to, for school education and curriculum, right?
Yes, yes.
So that needs, there is, the thing is this, we cannot guarantee that this is a website that serves the purpose of your school. I don't know what is the need of your school there, what is the nature of your learners, but definitely we will forward whatever we have resources and we will forward to them. The British Council in India, we have been working closely with the British Council websites. If you can just consult them for material, school material and websites, it's really good. And for schools also, with my experience in the field of teaching spoken English, listening and speaking, I recommend that BBC English Learning is very good for schools. It's very good. And at the same time, in India, we are following the British system. At the same time, I cannot tell, they have also to be exposed to American English. VOA Learning also, they can be good if we expose our students to such things. This is very important. We have to download animated cartoon animation movies for in which they speak British English. It's very good for kids because it gives them the motivation to learn, and they pick up things very much a lot. So BBC Learning English, they start with beginnings or VOA, and we have also I suggested Peppa Big videos for some schools. It is a kind of animation in which children are exposed to different real life situations with good accent, British accent, and they'll speak amazingly after that. Peppa Pig videos. I can even share the name with you on by writing or whatever. I hope I have answered the question.
Yeah, you have answered that question, sir. Thank you so much.
Welcome, sir. I'd like also to thank Dr. Bobby Dooley for giving me also for introducing me to this wonderful university, and also you, sir, for you are the mastermind of all this international webinar. Thanks to you as well. Thank you very much.
Muktesh, English trainer, last question we'll take, sir. Muktesh, English trainer and teacher. So can online classes be that interactive as in-person classes having huge number of students?
No, they are not. I have already spoke about it. The interaction in online classes as compared to on campus is much better in traditional classes. Social interaction, because see what we have in online learning, we have personalized learning, personalized for each learner. In traditional, it is contextualized It is socially based. That social interaction is much better in traditional settings.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you very much, sir. Now I request Dr. Bobby Dooley to propose vote of thanks.
Thank you so much, sir. Good afternoon, all of you. I am Dr. Bobby Dooley, Assistant Professor from the Department of English. Take the privilege to propose vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to express our profound gratitude to our beloved chairman, Dr. Palla Rajeswar Reddy sir, for his inspiring words. He is constant inspiration for family of Anurag University. Thank you, sir. In spite of your busy schedule, you have given your time to be with us. Thank you so much, sir. I earnestly thank our Chancellor, Professor U.B. Desai, sir, for his encouraging words. We are grateful, you, sir. We certainly follow your guidelines while delivering our lecture sessions. I would also thank our HOD, Dr. Ananthalakshmi Madam, for her constant support and her moral and guidance to make this happen. Now, I would like to express my thanks to Dr. Muhammad Ali Abdullah Al Khulaidi for being with us today and delivering a wonderful session on the imperative of online education in the 21st century and for sharing his findings and opinions. It's really a very informative and thought-provoking session, especially to face the new platform that is online education and language teaching in the 21st century. We are all inspired by your great speech and words, Dr. Khulaidi. Our heartfelt thanks to all the participants who have shown interest to participate and hope the inputs will be used during their lecture sessions. Last but not the least, I sincerely thank Dr. MSR sir for his constant support and encouragement to make this event a grand success. I sincerely thank our technical staff, Padmini Madam, Madhavi Madam, Sunil, and Sehesh Shiva sir. Without their support, we wouldn't have made our idea into a reality. Once again, we thank Dr. Muhammad Ali Abdul Al Khulaidi for your time and valuable inputs, and also all the audience. Have a happy and joyful learning. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Bobby Dooley, sir, for proposing vote of thanks. We'll be starting the next session in the evening at 5:30. You'll get the link in the same WhatsApp group by 5:30. And I request everybody to, we'll share the feedback link again in the evening at 5:30. And evening 5:30, we are all aware that the session is being addressed by the people. We have a guest of honor as Ramchandra, Vice Chancellor, Anurag University will be addressing in the evening. And also we have the session on effective online teaching of technical writing skills by Dr. Patricia Kaman, Professor, Kansas University, USA. So before we conclude, I would like to request Dr. Ananthalakshmi, Professor and Head of the Department, to speak.
Thank you, Muhammad Ali, for being with us, and all the participants have enjoyed the enlightening session. And really, it is eye-opener for all of us from India who are taking up the online teaching. And I request all the participants to bear with the initial hiccups. This is what the technology is throwing the challenges on us that we have to bear with. And even in the physical classes also, sometimes we'll be late and other kind of reasons will be there. So thank you for patiently waiting in the initial 10 minutes. And this is what the challenge is. We have to connect with the remote resource person from other place, and in between signaling and networking is the problem. Thank you all, and let us join again for the enlightening session in the evening. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you at 5:30 in the evening. I would like to remind once again that the 2 sessions feedback form, first session, second session will be given in the evening. So I request everybody to kindly fill up both the feedback forms in the evening. I request not to fill the feedback form which has been sent now. Thank you so much. See you at 5:30. Happy learning. Good day.